Yo, what's going on, my people out there in the Twitterverse, aka X Kingdom, whatever you want to call it? so just a little while ago, one of my friends asked me to try to whip together a quick tutorial based on the image guidance feature that I was displaying on X. And so here I am in Leonardo AI. And so what you want to do is you start off in the generation history. And you guys can see Yumi. I've been working on a lot of different things. And Yumi's music video was one of them. Um, However, I just want to show you guys how to use this image guidance. So you're going to come over to image guidance and you'll have to turn it on. All right. And from here, you guys can add in an image. I'm going to go ahead and add an image of this twist that I made inside of Blender. I just took a bunch of boxes. I inset the box so that I would have a hole in it, punched out a hole, and then just duplicated it a bunch of times and offset it just a little bit on the x-axis just to get that twisting motion, something like this. But I wanted to do it myself rather than use an image that I found because this is just something I found online. And as you could see here, I was using other images to influence the outcome as far as the composition. Um, Here I am all sideways and junk. All right, so I am going to, let's go to one by one. And so now that I have this twist, I can take this out of here and I can say a something like a dramatic scene of an eerie hallway twisting, like and something, I don't know, just something like that. Cinematic, hyper real, photorealistic, award winning. What would you call that? I don't know. Let's just put it high fantasy film. All right, and so everything else is here. You could choose whether you want this to affect it just a little bit. And I like to use the mid because I want to use this, but I want it to also use a lot of the prompt that I'm using. And if you stick it on high, you're going to get way closer to this versus what you're asking for here. At least that's been my experience. So now that I've gotten the reference, the content reference, and I've gotten the prompt that I want, I'm going to go ahead and generate. And if you want to go see what you're generating, you'd have to come back here. All right, so that's going to take a minute. I don't know if I'll cut this out or not. It just depends on how fast I'm going to be able to get the generation. Unfortunately, my internet's been in and out. I don't know what's going on. It's constantly cutting out, and I've had them. I've called them, and I don't know. We went through a few troubleshooting steps. I really think it's just either the router or the see, so there we go. Either the router or the modem. So we got some steps or some just some wood. So it did come out looking a lot more just like the render. So you could always try doing something like low. We'll try that again. And that wasn't too bad as far as the time. It's been, I've had to refresh the page a few times for like every generation that I was making. So all of these I had to keep refreshing just to get to the point where I was able to see something. All right, let's keep going up here. So I like how this one will use like some of the textures. You can see you've got like a little different texture. It's gonna keep spiraling all the way down. This kind of looks like steps. So maybe I could have put something about steps. And so here we go. Again, see now that I'm using a little less of the influence, obviously this doesn't look as spiraled as, I mean, I guess it kind of does, but it starts to like kind of break up a little bit. And then here you just got, this is like a pretty cool picture though. This is actually kind of funky. It's not what we were looking for, but I just wanted to show you guys what it would look like. And now let's crank this all the way up. And I'm going to take this out and let's do a surreal underwater scene filled with sea life, real textures, ambient lighting, volumetrics. Let's just see what that does. I obviously like playing with the prompt and throwing in a lot of different descriptors that I think that it'll create some crazy, crazy results. So we're just gonna let this one render out one more time, and we'll see. In the meantime, see, I'm getting network errors all over the place. I'll try doing that now that it's working a little bit. I'm trying to log into all my stuff here. Hey, there's some of my peoples out here. All right, sorry. I'm doing my best to waste some time here. There. All right, so again, it's really using a lot of that image. So I mean, it does add some details, some of this extra, detail. This doesn't look like an underwater scene that much. Although it does look like it's trying to make this out of water. And then you still have like all the steps coming down. So let's try one more time, but we're going to do this. You know what? Let's add some elements. Elements is another feature that you could use that will add all kinds of different elements. They're like LoRa's basically. So yeah, see that little LoRa's. Ooh, this is a new one. I didn't see this before. I'm going to go with glass and let's do fire. Let's add those two in. Now you actually can control the weight of these. So if you feel that they're changing your image result way too much, feel free to just jump in and, change them up. If you don't like the way that this is affecting it, you could just exit out of it. And all right. So I definitely need a better internet connection, so all right, I'm just gonna let this do one more generation, but you guys see, basically you're doing all your image guidance from in here, and actually all those steps did come with the render that I made. Um, I don't think if I brought up Blender right now, you guys would be able to see it because I don't have it set up in the OBS, but I'm gonna get out of there. All right, so that's finally starting to generate good news, even if this stupid computer disconnects. Now that it's sent to this Kyber will do the rest on its side. All right. So again, you have to go back to generation history in order to see the images that you created. And here we go. Now we're getting some pretty cool stuff. Like, I could prompt in more stuff and maybe say that this is kind of a spiral reef. Um, you can give it whatever, but I like the fact that you got some little bubbles in here. You got this going on fire, it's underwater, you got some of the caustics coming down, casting the shadows from the surface, the light coming through the surface. For those of you who don't know, that's called caustics. You get the same effect when you have light passing through a glass and then shining onto like a surface, and you'll see some caustics. But anyhow, this one was all right. I mean, it does look like, oh, actually, now that it like kind of straightened out a little bit. And then you can use these upscalers too. You've got the Alchemy Smooth upscale. You can get it crispy if you like, if you want a more 3D render look to it. More upscalers here. this kind of looks cool. But yeah, so that's how you play around with the image guidance. Where do I go? Oh, right here. All right. And so again, this is content reference. If you read some of my posts and you see that it says that I said context, I was incorrect. I probably should have looked at this first, but it's content reference. And then you add the image. Let's try one more, actually. Let's do this. I'm going to find something else and we'll take another look. So let's go again with something like this. All right. I was working on something for Spider Gates. I'm trying to work on a little trailer action. Let's see if I got 3-2. Yeah, we'll make it the same thing. I'm going to keep that at mid. I like the fiery flames. I'm going to keep that in. I'm going to get rid of the glass. I do want to add some of the dark arts. All right. And let's get rid of that. All right. So the dark arts, I'll bring it down a little bit too. If you have these up too high, it can be a little bit weird. All right. So let's get rid of that. Oops. Need to get rid of this. And I'll put a dramatic scene, and I cannot spell, scene of a modern witch for auburn hair casting a fireball. Let's say a purple fireball. Magic spell in an ominous cemetery. All right. Some of these words really help to lend a lot of the look and feel. So, when you're trying to get something dark, fantasy, or film, you want to use words like that because it will bring out, the look that you're trying to get, or at least get you a lot closer there rather than just saying, a horror scene of, a dark cemetery. You use ominous, and now you're starting to get like a little more deeper into the look and the feel. Let's say Sam Raimi's Evil. Whoops. Evil. Jeez, I can't type. Dead. All right. Let's try that out. All right. Again, you got to go back to generation history. Otherwise, you'll just be sitting there and not seeing much. But crafting my masterpiece. All right. So, yeah, some of these actually came out pretty cool. I will show some of you guys. I like that one. I could have upscaled some of these, but for now, I'm just going to download some of them. Boom, boom. I kind of like that one too, though. I'll just do that. And this girl, Lilith, she is a hothead. All right, so the weight on the fiery flames, let's bring that down. You don't want to go negative. It will create some weird funkiness if you do the negative. Dark arts I want to leave because it does add a lot more to like a horror type scene. And yeah, let's go ahead and try that out. It was, oh, you know what I was supposed to do? And the image guidance is off because I'm a dum-dum. All right, let me go back in here. And I want it high because I want it to be as much as possible. Let's go back to generation history. All right, so they're actually generating a little bit faster than they did yesterday, but so you can come in here. I like to go ahead and do a quick high upscale. So give that a second. Here we go. That's a lot better there. There we go. You know what I'm talking about? All right, so let's go ahead and upscale that one right there. All right, I'll add another crispy upscale. And this one's all right, but geez, she's burning up. All right, so now we're starting to get some of the purple in here. That looks cool. That actually looks cool too. So as you could see, using this image guidance, you could do a lot of different things. Let's see what happens if. So obviously, it's going to look a lot like her. A lot of the, as you can see, the content references, keeping the shape of everything. Now, if I drop it to low, and let's keep some dark arts, but I'm going to bring it down to about 30. If you have these up a little too high, it really does change a lot. Sometimes it does keep the same composition, but it will like make it look really crazy. All right, so I thought that looks kind of cool, but it's like, what is this? What? So this one looks a lot better. I like this big fireball thing here. Um, and if I click on here, give that a second. Look at how nice that looks, man. That looks pretty sick. Then you could just go ahead and animate that. I'll probably bring it down. I'll leave it around 3. There we go. We got some purple fireballs. That's what I'm looking for. It's kind of purple. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's the rundown on using image guidance. Feel free to go ahead and play around with it. Yeah, I mean this will help, at least if you're having issues where you can't get it to generate something specifically, or some kind of position is generating the characters in a weird way. Um, you could feel free to like take a picture of yourself or a friend in that kind of position, try to set up the scene to look a lot more like, the comp that you want. Because once you add that into Leonardo and then use the content reference, it will use that composition, but then it will fill in the gaps, and it'll give you a lot more to go with, and it'll look a lot closer to what you're trying to make, if that makes any sense. But yeah, sometimes the fire comes out pretty cool, sometimes not so much. But yeah, Lilith is looking a little pissed off. Looks like Victoria and her friends must have closed another gate. So, anyways, that's gonna be it. I'll jump off, but like I said, a friend of mine asked me to show you guys how to do this. A little quick tutorial, and as you can see, you could really influence a lot of your images using other images, whether it's something you made in Blender or a picture that you have. Maybe you want to just take a picture of yourself and turn it into something crazy. You can use that. All right. All right. Well, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.